Can you see me? I don't think so. Can you hear me? Probably. Can you see me now? This is the new Biolite 4, where's the camera? 425 head torch, and it is by far my favourite headlamp to go running with. And here's why. So for the last couple of years, the Biolite 330 has been my favourite head torch. It's a 330 lumen head torch with a battery on the back. It's got that nice slim fit design that Biolite has. That doesn't mean there's a strap coming over the top of your head. And I've loved this as a brilliant all-rounder, but especially for running, and I'll maybe give that to somebody. This is the new Biolite 425 head torch. My favourite head torch for running. Why do I love this head torch so much for running? Well, it's a really good balance between battery life, brightness, and comfort. Comfort, yeah. I've said this many times, but I've found Biolite head torches to be the most comfortable head torches that I've ever worn, because they've just opted for this really nice, simple flat band in the back here. This super soft material, so when you're wearing it you really don't feel it against your head unless you've got it on ridiculously tight. So I find I can wear one of these for hours without it starting to get, you know, annoying the way I would find tighter head torches if they get more narrow bands. Around medium brightness, I'm going to get about 10 to 20 hours brightness out of this. It's super comfortable in my head. It does not bounce, and it has a range of brightness modes. I can do spot, I can do flood, I can do spot and flood, and it's just really comfortable to run with. Okay, a little test in the dark, and we're going to start with the headlamp on minimum brightness. So I've tried to match the camera, the exposure in the camera, to sort of what my eye can see. This is it at minimum brightness, and then we go all up to 425 ISO. So yeah, it's pretty bright. It's pretty bright. I can see, I don't know, it must be almost 100 meters. If you look in the distance, you can see something reflecting in the dark. And that's probably at least 75 meters, if not 100 meters away. And I can see the hedgerow and the fence leading all the way down there. So I'm just going to cycle through the modes. That's spot. That's floodlight. So you can see suddenly the floodlight, you don't get the same distance. Now it's hard to tell here, but you get a much wider, a much softer light, sort of spreads more evenly out around. Floodlight's more suitable if you were like in a tent, or you know, you just wanted to see close up. That's why I would use floodlight. And then I can combine the two. So the next mode, that is floodlight and spot combined. So I'm getting a spotlight plus a nice wide light out around the sides as well. Then we have the strobe mode. You can see how bright that is compared to the bike light away up ahead. And then I've got the red light, which is not very bright at all. Yeah, so this is one thing with this light I would have liked, is that I could have had a brighter red light. Now this red light, once my eyes adjust to it, I can see, but it's not spectacular. I can see maybe 3 meters in front of me. I would have liked to have a slightly brighter red light, and for me that's sort of the only downside of this head torch. I'll just turn on the back light there as well, so you can see how bright it is in the back of my head. So here I am, complete darkness. Switch it on. That's how bright it is in full brightness. Yeah, but 50% brightness is sufficient to run with. Here we've got spot. I'm going to switch it to flood, so it should get wider out around the sides. I'll just spin around here. There we go. So that's a much softer, much more even light, and it's going out further this way and this way. So that'll be useful if I'm like trying to work at something, so I'm not getting this like bright, hot spot in one place. It's a nice wider light. And then if I want benefits both, there we go. That's, I got a spotlight in the middle, bright, when it's giving me good peripheral vision as well. If I stand here and look forward, I'm seeing, yeah, at least, I'm seeing things limited like almost to like 75 meters, and without completely turning my head, I'm seeing about 4 meters to my left and about 4 meters to my right with the flood on as well. So yeah, quite impressed. So while I've really enjoyed using the 330 for running, I've also used this as my main go-to head torch for camping and hiking and any kind of general outdoor activities, and it has been, it has been great. But there are a few things about it have always bugged me. One of them is that you can see the button. It is absolutely tiny and it barely protrudes outside the top of the torch, which means if you're wearing gloves, it can be quite difficult to press. They've listened and they fixed that. The new button sticks out. It's got a much bigger surface area, so it's now much easier to hit when you're wearing a pair of gloves. Another issue with this one is that when you're running with it, there's no lights in the back, which would have been a really great safety feature when you're out in the roads. The new one, they've redesigned the battery, so it's bigger for a start, but it's more of a square shape, so it actually spreads the weight out, I think, more evenly. And now we've got red light on the back, so it's a lot safer as well when you're out in the roads. And the last thing that bugged me about this one was it used old micro USB. They finally changed that, and the new one uses USB-C. That is the new Biolite 425, my favorite head torch for running. Thanks for watching this short video. Bye bye.